Hi, this is Paul from Outerloop Coaching and OuterloopCoaching.com. I'm here to talk to you this week about 3 things you need to think about before you choose your cover art. And one thing I promise you haven't thought of before. Before we get started, subscribe to the OuterloopCoaching.com email list. You'll get great information into your email inbox every single week. If you're listening on the Managemental Podcast, be sure to subscribe to the Outerloop Records YouTube channel where you can like, comment, and subscribe so you can get all of this stuff in all of its video glory. If you're watching on YouTube, you must subscribe to the Managemental Podcast. Do it now on your favorite podcast catcher. Let's get started. Before I dive into the 3 things you need to think about before you choose your cover art, do the world a favor and do not make cover art that is nothing but a pictorial representation of your album title. Literal cover art is the sign of a novice. Please don't do it. Let's dive in. Number 1, use your cover art to introduce yourself to new audiences. Stay on brand. You want to make sure that your cover art, if it is the first thing that people see from you and your band, that it tells them exactly what it is that you sound like or what it is that you are trying to project as being the personality or the theme of you and your music. Super important. Number 2, think about how your cover art is going to translate to merch. If you've got something that just is not going to look good on a t-shirt, not going to look good on a keychain, I don't know, all the other stuff that you want to sell, you're going to pay for it later on. So don't do it. Make sure your cover art looks great in everywhere you're going to want to put it, not just the CD, not just on the Spotify when it shows up in the corner. Okay, number 3, creating offshoots for singles. Make sure that when you put out your singles before the album comes out, and I know you're going to do that, you can use different interpretations of that album art so that way it will get people excited for the album itself. Don't try to get too creative with your single art. You want the entire experience of your album to be immersive. So think about also, does that cover art inspire video ideas? Is it something that you can actually produce as a video without breaking the bank? That's a great cover art. Make it immersive for your audience. They want to be able to dive into the album as an entire experience and not just a collection of songs. Here's that last thing that I'm sure you haven't thought of. Think of SEO. When you're coming up with your album title, it better be something that somebody's going to be able to find when they search for it. If you name your album something that isn't going to be findable, don't be surprised when nobody is able to find it. All right. Comment if you're watching this on YouTube down below. Please tell me, what is your favorite cover art of the last few years? I'd love to know. All right. And next week, we are going to talk about 3 things you need to have in your bio. You're not going to want to miss this. People make so many mistakes with their bios. So let's make sure yours is right. So tune in next week. This is Paul from Outerloop Coaching and OuterloopCoaching.com. I hope to see you visiting the website soon. I'll see you next week.